What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Chocolate City Hoops podcast. It's your host, DJ. We got a really good episode lined up for y'all today. We got a ticket giveaway, so you don't want to miss that. Wait till the end, because we got our guest that will pick the winner. So our guest today is the host of the Gallery of Wizards Place podcast, Domo.
What up, man?
What's going on, brother? Hey.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, man, look, you know pretty well on Wizards Twitter and the Wizards community, man. You've been doing your thing for quite some time. I mean, you know how this goes, right? What's your Wizard story?
Yeah, so pretty much without dating myself too much, I started playing ball like around 7-8 years old. At that time, the Wizards was playing up in the MCI Center, the Murison mobs. And
hey, look, you already did it.
Yeah, I did it, right. Jawan Howard, Weber for a brief stint before we made that terrible trade. Mitch Richmond, of course, Calbert Chaney, all of those guys, man. Rod Strickland. I know I'm leaving some out, but I love that team, man. I always been a local home team, and yeah, just watching them, and then when we got Jordan, who was my all-time favorite player. He's the GOAT to me, undisputed.
Yes, sir. Hold on, let's pause right there. I want y'all to understand this one good time, because this is a debate that's been happening for far too long. We ain't gonna talk about who the GOAT is, because we already know who the GOAT is. It's MJ. Now, we ain't gonna talk about the Wizards stint, but he's the GOAT, point blank period, all right? So, LeBron, shout out, greatness. Kobe, shout out, greatness. Sure. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. I mean, you could talk about Will, you could talk about you could talk about Bill Russell if you want to go championships, but it don't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, but not sorry. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All right.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. So Jordan, the GOAT. He became an executive GM, part owner for the, or was supposed to be part owner for the Wizards. But you know how that turned out. And then it's, watching the Kwame Brown fiasco. I was actually in the building when Jordan dropped the 51 against Charlotte. The MCI Center, man, it was undeniable at that point. You dropping 51 at 38, damn near 40, you the GOAT to me. And just, Rip Hamilton. I just always rock with them. 01, we had the All-Star game in DC. That was like huge for me. And then just my basketball journey, just playing AAU, playing throughout high school. And just having a love for the game. That was my first love.
Yeah, man, you're a real DMV product, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's for sure. You know the ins and outs. Just seeing your work, seeing them predictions that you be making, that little crystal ball. That's his emoji. If y'all don't know, man, his emoji is the crystal ball, because that man be talking about stuff before it even happened. So, no, it's good to have you on here, bro, and good to hear your Wizards story. Good to have more of the Wizards community up in here on the podcast. Truly appreciate it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get right into today's, meat and potatoes of the show. We're going to talk about bold predictions for the Wizards' upcoming season this year. So, I mean, we just going to go ahead and jump right into it. And I'm going to tell you this one right now, all right? Jordan Poole flirts with an All-Star nomination. Now, let me tell you, here's why I think this is going to happen, all right? All right? Because I think him now being the primary ball handler, he's going to be at the PG.
For sure.
We already, if y'all haven't seen it, by the time this video comes out or earlier, they pretty much said that he will be the starting point guard, right? Greg Finberg, I believe, put out, even retweeted, said that, after he became full-time ball handler, he was already averaging, I think it was like 26. And I'm like, okay, so if we're talking about him being 26 in the last like 13-something plus games, then I'm thinking, like, why can't he average 23, 25 and up that assist from 6 to 7 or 8? Right?
Okay.
And look, the only reason why I say he's flirting with it and may not necessarily get it is only because it's a popularity contest with the All-Star stuff. So people are going to be watching, but are they going to be watching the Wizards? Right? Is the record going to be there? So that's why I say, now I think he'll definitely be deserving, but I'm just going to say he flirts with it. What you think?
Yeah, you know what? That's much bolder than what I was going to say, because he's a part of one of my bold predictions.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be tough for the All-Star nod because of the depth of the position, and then I don't know about you, but I don't expect the Wizards to be very good this year, and that's another calculation with being named the All-Star. You got to have a certain record. You got to be certain level in the standings, and I don't think the Wizards going to be flirting with that.
Yeah.
By design, of course.
Yeah, by design. For sure.
But yeah, I got my bold prediction was Jordan Poole legitimately a shot to win MIP, most improved player, man. Because I think, like you mentioned, his last 20 or so games of the year, he was playing exclusively at point guard. And you just saw his flair with the ball, his ability to get 2 feet in the paint, draw a defense, kick it out, and just his, them no-look passes, the behind-the-back dimes, the step backs. He was flowing, man. I think Jordan Poole, being the rhythm player that he is, he needs that.
Right.
And yeah, I think he could be 25, 7, 4 on like 55 plus true shooting, man. And if you're doing that, he got to be in that MIP conversation, even with the record.
Look, I'm thinking this redemption year. I think a lot of people. I mean, look, now this is where I'm gonna take pride because I even said it before he got traded. I was thinking to myself like, yeah, we can go back and date on my Twitter because I know some of y'all be capping and saying some certain things. But look, I said like when they traded Beal, I was like, look, what if we go get Jordan Poole on a young Warriors team? And then him coming over will be the same equivalent as when Harden left OKC, went to Houston, and then boom, right? And I still believe that in Jay. But now it didn't start off right, but I just think it's because he wasn't put in the best position to succeed at that time, playing off ball, or being kind of like that primary scorer. And then maybe we're being honest, maybe it's still a little bit of him,
getting adjusted.
Yeah, just getting adjusted and things like that. But I really like what you said, MIP. That's actually a good one, and I definitely think that he probably does have more of a chance for that. But I'm gonna still stick with mine. Maybe a little bit.
That's
of
Super
that.
Bowl, man.
Yeah.
That's Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Shout out to Tyus Jones, man. Hope he do good things for the Suns. But I just think it just didn't fit with Poole. Like Tyus is kind of like he kind of holds the ball. He got to set stuff up. And Poole, he's sitting there watching. I'm like,
though,
that
what's
ball,
crazy
man.
is you just brought it up in my mind, and look, going off script as usual, but that's just me. Like, Tyus would have been good for Bill at the time.
Yeah.
But that just wasn't the case. So it was like, I think the whole Tyus thing was just a little bit too late. But again, it was also the byproduct of the KP trade anyway. So it's like, but I mean, how much would Tyus have cost in a trade anyway, at that time? So, but yeah. All right, on to this next one. So I actually firmly believe, I'm standing 10 toes down on this one. Bilal makes an all-defensive team.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Because he's been taking them assignments as a rookie. He been taking all of the primary matchups. Whoever the best wing or guard scorer on the opposing team, he was taking that matchup, and I felt like he was doing pretty well. He has his length and athleticism. He has a knack for the ball, and he doesn't foul.
right.
So yeah, I could see that. It's gonna be tough because again, that's these voters.
Yep.
They got certain names that they just gonna put in automatically every year. And Bilal, he new on the scene. It's the Wizards. We're not a huge market, but I could see that, man. I could see that.
If Bilal was all, it seems like it's always the same thing for every rookie that comes in, no matter what coach we've had. It seems like every rookie dating back to as far as I can remember, maybe outside of, John and Brad, always comes in as, all right, we're going to simplify it for you, focus on shooting a 3-ball in the corner and playing defense. That's it. That's all you got to do. Was it happen with Denny? Denny, people was getting mad because you saw Denny highlight tapes and like, oh, this is the next Luka. Nah, stop it. Right? He going to come in. We're going to make him shoot.
Crazy.
We're going to make him shoot from the corner. We're going to make him play defense. And that's it. Same thing with your boy, Johnny Davis. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Yeah, look, we can have a whole nother episode.
Yeah, that's the whole
episode. We're
going
gonna do that. But then the changing of the guard, I'm glad that it's gonna be a little bit different. I think that role actually did suit Bilal a little bit. Because no one thought he could shoot the 3 coming out of France, and then now we shot like a respectable, it was like in the mid-30s, right? A little bit around there.
He started the year shooting over 40%, and then he had a real bad stretch. Hit a wall. And he was low 30s, high 20s, and it kind of balanced him out a little bit.
But what was it? Was that game against? It had been early on against the 76ers. Like you just saw the defense. Like Embiid just thinking, like, who is this? Stole the ball from him. Like, hey, look, you gonna know who I am. throw the ball, plucked it, cookies, dunk on the other side.
He don't care.
And then went same game or maybe another game coast to coast, dunked it on somebody. Yeah. Paul Reed, was it Paul Reed? Might have been Paul Reed. I don't know. Somebody got baptized that game.
Yeah. I remember which one you're talking about.
And then you just I was like, this is what we need in the city, because look, you think about it. That's the difference, against when you talk about like American-born players. I think these days versus these kids, they're really going pro at 14, 15, and they playing against grown ass men.
Yeah.
So you see that development from when he was in France. You see what he did his first year, and this year I don't know if he'll up his scoring as much, but I definitely just kind of get the feeling like, all right, you're gonna be put on the primary assignment. And the reason why I said I think he can make at least an all defensive team, maybe was it third? Because it's the third, I believe. So I think he can make that just because, man, look, if you could shut down a Paul George on any given night, if you could shut down, I don't know, James Harden, I'm just saying it's gonna be tough. But if you can do that on a consistent basis on the best teams matchup, night in, night out, couple blocks, couple steals here, I think you got a shot.
Yeah, for sure. I just think, his pedigree, where he come from, he don't have that starstruck awe of these NBA players. I remember when he made that comment about Siakam being the easiest one to guard.
Yep.
The easiest starter guard.
That's right.
Toronto fans, shout out to y'all, man. But, I felt like he was being honest. Yeah. Siakam got 1-2 moves. It works for him. Yeah. But it is what it is. And as a defender, you could tell he studies tendencies, and he's really a student of the game. And like I said, he's not starstruck, so he'll line up against anybody.
Let's talk. Let's go even a little bit deeper than that. Let's talk about him still even winning the silver medal. You talking about a kid who's only 19 going up against the best players in the world, and there were a couple series in there where he was guarding Curry, and look, he said, I don't care. Yeah. But you know what's actually crazy though, right? I'm not against our U.S. team. I'm just pointing out a fact from what I observed. Curry went off when they took Bilal off him. When I'm not saying Curry gonna be Curry. I'm just saying when Bilal got put back on the bench and they favored some of the more vets in that situation.
They wanted more shooting.
But Curry went off.
They got the shooting back.
And that's what I'm saying. Hey, you took him off me. Yeah. Now it's time to cook. Chef Curry in the building. Look, I was watching that game with my wife. And man, when I tell you, she was just like, "What they do that for?" And I said, "I don't know." Hey, Curry going on? She's like, "I ain't complaining." I said, "Hey, that's just how it is.
Yeah,
that's just how it is."
Yeah.
All right. But no, shout out to Bilal. I think he's gonna have a good season. I'm very excited. If you talk about one non-rookie player, I'm real excited for is definitely Bilal this year. Man. Probably actually even more than Poole, in my opinion. I like Poole right from my first bowl prediction, but I think Bilal gonna really step it up. Oh, yeah, you're second. What you got?
Yeah, so I'll keep it defensive. The Wizards last year obviously were a bottom 3 defensive team. I think the additions of Big Val, bringing Sar here, a leap from Bilal, especially with him being in the starting lineup for the whole year. I think they got an opportunity to be a top 15 defense, which I think would be a significant jump going from 28th to top 15. They could play some real competitive basketball.
Hold on. All right. I don't even know if we could put this on the camera. What does that say right there? What does that last bullet point say?
Wizards will be a top 15.
Hold on. Hold on. Come here. Can you get that? Is that even possible? Ain't no way. It's smack dab in there. If you can't, whatever, we'll edit. I don't care.
Minds, Great minds.
Damn. What am I? Okay. All right. I'm going to come up with something different. No. Continue what you were saying. I like that.
Yeah, I think the additions this year, I think obviously the emphasis, you listen to Dawkins, Winger, what they talk about, they want to build the culture here defensively. The draft picks, Bilal and then Sar, those guys are defensive first players. Their athleticism and length. You add Big Val. We were a horrible defensive rebounding team. Big Val is going to help with that off rip. Sar is going to help with that. You bring Holmes back. You got Bagley. We're a much bigger team now where you can slot Kuz up, a position up playing the 3. I just, you're not playing these miniature guards anymore. It's like 6'4", 6'5", and up.
You ain't like that 3-guard lineup from back in the day?
Don't get me started, man. I could do it. We could do another pod on that, man. Don't even get me started with that, man. But Yeah, like we're a bigger team this year, and I think that's going to help us on the defensive glass. And so, defensive glass, that's a key rebound, that's a key defensive stat.
Yeah.
And I think because of it, we're going to be top 15. Man.
And that, for real, I mean, that feels on par with our, our new front office because when there's at OKC, I mean, you see OKC now, right? It's just everyone's big.
Yeah.
I mean, what's like SGA? How tall is SGA? I mean,
SGA 6'6".
6'6", wingspan like a dang 3, 4, 5. I mean, so
Yeah.
it don't, dude's big, and you go to the 2 guard, 3, 4, 5. I mean, they're long and lengthy, and I think I saw it on whether it was Monumental Sports, it might have been Chase Hughes. So shout out to Chase. I think he said this, that look, the thing is 5 out now, right? Everyone wants a shooter, but now what they also want is height, length, and to be able to drive to the basket. So not only can you have 5 people who can shoot, but now you can have 5 people if they want. They got a bag. They can go.
Yeah.
They can go to the line. And I think that's what they're trying to accomplish. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to kind of really see what you was talking about to see if the Wizards can be a top 15 defensive team. I definitely think so based off of what you said there. But another part that I'll get to is that the JV signing. Right, I think we talk about all of our other bold predictions. Right, if you say put it all, that's a key piece to it all. Right, the defensive stats. Bilal looking good because if Bilal can, if someone does get past him, you just see some big body there. It's gonna be more hesitant, allows him to stay on ball. And think about that big body setting the screen for JP. And we talk about him, whether it's most improved player or flirting with an all-star nod, that helps. That helps a lot. And then now you can let Sar. Whether he starts or he doesn't start, he can switch really between maybe 3 through 5 if he wanted to. Yeah. I mean, I now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. I just got like a thought in my head. Like, what does that look like with Sar at the 3? That's a big
The
lineup.
shooting would definitely suffer, but
yeah, sure.
I could see that. Like if they wanted to go like Kuz, Sar, Val, and then maybe Brogdon and Poole or Brogdon and Carrington or Kispert. That's everybody 6'5" and up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So you know what? Let's talk about this then, right? You play 2K?
Of course.
All right. So you know how they be having like your 3-point lineup, your defensive lineup, your closing lineup.
Yeah.
Your top defensive unit. You push that out there. You need to stop. What you got?
I was just playing this yesterday. I
was playing this morning.
My top defensive lineup at point guard. Just because of his savvy and he's been around a while, I'm gonna probably go Brogdon.
Okay, all right.
At the 2, I'm gonna go Bilal. At the 3, I think I'll go Kuzma.
Okay.
At the 4, Sar, and then Big Val at the 5.
Okay.
So we get some size, some switchability. Obviously, it's not going to be the best shooting lineup, but we're talking about I just need a stop and a rebound.
Stop and a rebound.
Stop and a rebound, because it's one thing to get the stop, but then you don't get the rebound, they get a putback on you. What does it matter?
That's true. So, just for the sake of, and I like what you said there, because that's kind of what was going through my head. I'm going to be a little bit different, though, right? I'm going to put that Be More Dog in that lineup somewhere. Yeah,
I was thinking about it. I was like,
but you know what though? He remind me of Bilal. He ain't scared. Like you saw in the summer league, man. He's like, look, you don't get up in my face. Like I'm gonna get up in your face.
Dog in him, man. You got that dog in him.
You played against any of them cats from Be More, dog. You
got the dog.
That's right on par with the DMV, and we have to exclude them from the DMV because if you know, you know.
Right.
Be More, DMV. That's the respect. You gotta separate it. So, I think I'm gonna go. I think it's interchangeable, right? Because I think we talked about Bilal. I think you could honestly just put Bilal on, like, let's just say you go up against OKC. You could put Bilal on SGA.
For sure.
That
would be his matchup.
And that would be, right? So then you could shift, like, Bub to the other guard.
Put him on Jalen, maybe. Yeah.
I think at the 3, I'm just going to keep it the same. I think you do put Kuz in there just for the length, the rebounding, right? Sar and, JV. I was flirting a little bit with maybe not JV and maybe somebody like Holmes at the 4 and then putting JV at the 5 just because of the switchability aspect of it. Because, sorry, not JV, Sar at the 5 just for the switchability because, Sar and Holmes can kind of easily switch between 1, 2, and 3 a little bit faster on the feet. JV kind of,
they quick, yeah.
he got that he that old school big like Steve Adams and boom 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 with the feet,
problem.
dog. Yeah, them Timberland feet, boy. I just I just kind of think that maybe that's the defense. So now, all right, let's switch it up. All right, you're on offense. You need a bucket.
Need a bucket. Okay. We got bucket getters, man. So I'm gonna go obviously Poole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Poole. I'm gonna go Bud.
There it is.
I'm gonna go Kispert.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Kispert, Kuzma, obviously, and then I think you keep Big Val in there. I think you keep Big Val in there because he can post
Offensive board.
offensive glass, defensive glass. You get second chance opportunities. So I think I'll go with those 5 if I need a bucket.
Okay, I like that again. I'm gonna say the same thing with Bub. I don't know if y'all can see a trend here. Bub. All right, we're gonna go Bub, Poole, right? Well, really Poole, Bub, right? Either way, sure. two ball handlers, so it doesn't really matter. Right? You just need a bucket. More than likely, it's gonna be Poole, Bub, Kuz. Just get those 3 out the way. And then I almost kind of feel like it's a small ball lineup situation in my mind, right?
Okay.
So I like the Jonas thing for the offensive board, but I think this is the part where you see Kuz maybe slide to that 5. And I'm thinking you still got a 6'8", still growing Keyshawn George, right?
Okay.
Boy can shoot. We know he can shoot because look, at the end of the day, you just need someone to kick it out to who you know is reliable.
He's cash.
And you got a Kispert. So you're talking about 2 ball two creators. You got 2 people who basically gonna sit at the hash of the wing. I'm talking 2K lingo if y'all know. Right? hash or something, you know what I'm saying? And then you got, Kuz can break you down too. So you got 3 people who could break
out.
Yeah.
5 out.
3 people who could break you down and 2 people just waiting to catch and shoot. Boom.
Yeah.
And we
Brogdon
know
in there? You wouldn't slide him in there? Because he's crafty and
he's
6'5",
crafty
solid
and that
build.
veteran. Yeah.
I just couldn't.
If
between him and Kispert for me.
See, my whole thing is, if that's the case, if you wanted the veteran, added that little veteran savviness in there, I would probably switch him out for Bub then.
Okay.
Because then it would be Brogdon, Poole, Kuz, Kispert, and Keyshawn, right? Just to put it out there. But we're talking about like small ball lineup, got to go get a bucket. Yeah. So no, I like that. I like
them Kuz at the 5 lineups. I think that worked, especially for their pace. They being number 1 pace team. They're gonna definitely probably be top 3 pace again this year. They've been talking about that.
With or without JV in that lineup though, because he said he's been a part of his last interview. I think he said he's been a part of some fast paced teams. Maybe I just haven't paid that close of attention to his old teams he was on, but.
Yeah, I can see that.
He was at the Grizzlies, right? He was with Ja?
Grizzlies, he was with Ja.
Obviously Toronto from back in the day.
Toronto didn't run high pace though.
No.
But yeah, Grizzlies did, and then what was
New Orleans.
recently New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans played pretty fast. So
all right, so hey, look, prove me wrong. I just ain't never seen a big boy like that move like that. So you talking about we can still be fast paced and we can increase our boards,
pass, rebound, kick it up,
all right,
and we out.
So real quick before we get to the end here, let's talk about these rookies, man, real quick because I want to get your take. Right. So first question I'm gonna ask is, before we knew the whole Sarr didn't want to play center, talking about he didn't work out for Atlanta, and we just like, whoa, what's this? Who'd you have your eye on? Your crystal ball, what was flashing?
Before the process really started.
Yeah,
who did I like?
Yeah, who did you like? You knew we was gonna be a top, bottom 5.
Yeah,
drafted.
Yeah. Initially, it was Cody Williams.
Yeah.
Because I just liked his versatility.
Was it because you knew about his brother though?
Obviously his brother, but just looking at him on his own, I felt like he was a guy that at 6'8" could play some point guard. He kind of reminded me of like Jalen Rose.
Yeah.
And I like that versatility, his shooting. He was efficient in college. I think he was like 62% true shooting. He's long. The only knock on him was his size. He just needed to gain some weight, which to me is
once you get to the NBA, that's everybody.
That's easy.
You got to.
You get to eat, train, and lift weights all day. No class. It was initially Cody, but then he had the injury. I think it was his ankle, and his numbers kind of took a hit. But that's who I had. I had him number 1. and then Stephon Castle, and then I had like Sar in that next group.
Yeah.
But then as the process kind of played out, I'm like, man, we need a big. We're trying to be a defensive team.
Yeah.
Sar, I don't see star with him. But I think he could be a defensive anchor on your team, like an Evan Mobley.
Right.
Get you 15 points, 8-9 rebounds.
That's not a bad thing.
2-3 blocks.
Facts.
Yeah, I take that all day.
Facts. That's not a bad thing. Yeah. I think initially, I mean, look, before this show started, before YouTube even started, right, again, following you all, I mean, y'all kind of had more of an influence on my thinking, and because I wasn't like, I know about these college players, but I'm kind of going to like Tankathon and seeing like, what does that board look like on Tankathon to kind of get my understanding. So I started looking at Cody, and I started looking at Castle. Obviously, Sar was up there, but I was also looking at what's that center from UConn?
Why am I drawing?
Brandon Scott's. Yeah.
Klingen.
Yeah, Klingen. And I don't know, man. At first I had my doubts, but then because you see somebody like that big, and I'm like, can he shoot though? Can he do it? And you heard these different rumbles. I'm like, at the end of the day, all we need is defense. Defense. And it's unfortunate because I really liked it when we picked up Gaff back in the day, and it paired so well with Russell, the way he's attacking down here and being able to lob threat. Like, it was perfect. And, he was a gunner, like he was fast. But, man, eventually you just like, who's going to go up against the Jokic? Who's going to go up against Embiid? Like, you need somebody who's got some solid size. And unfortunately, man, Gaff, man, sometimes he look good, sometimes he's getting baby. Like, it is what it is. And it's, no fault of his own, just lack the size. So, no, yeah, I mean, I didn't really have anybody I was like super high on. It was just more so like, man, we just need a big. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, this draft was weird. Like, a lot of scouts and GMs said it, but like this was a draft where even if you had the number 1 pick, this was like having like number 6 or 7 in a typical year.
So you really just hoping that somebody just turns into a real solid player. Yeah. A real high contributor, whether it's on offense, whether it's on defense. And look, we've seen this before where, the scouts and people will say that and then somebody magically becomes like a star. Right? Now, could it happen? Who knows? I'll say this with Sar, and you can give your take. And I say this on the other episodes that he said that he likes to model his game after Giannis. Now, who knows?
It's aspirational.
Right? Yeah, it's aspirational, right? Who knows? But all I'm going to say is, as far as the potential, the intangibles, all that stuff, it kind of fits the bill right there. Mm-hmm. He obviously needs to get some size, right? Learn from JV a little bit, but, hey, get in the weight room, get big, be smart with the basketball, because I think we saw that in Summer League where he wasn't. He looked like a little, he was a little hesitant, or he was jacking up stuff. It just wasn't. So I think the potential is there, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would say that was actually my other bold prediction. I think Sar is going to, in spite of how he looked in the Summer League, of course, I think he's going to be on an all-rookie team, him and Bub. And I just think, he's got to learn his body, learn what he can and can't do on this level. Yeah. And obviously he's a finesse player right now. You saw like mostly he wanted to shoot the jump shot instead of dunk it. Right. And I think that's why having Big Val here kind of toughen him up a little bit, get some more physicality with him, man, because athletically he's, I feel like he's in the top 5% of the league at his size. Yeah. So it's just a mentality.
And I like the finesse. But you know what? This reminds me of Denny, man. Like, remember when Denny had that problem of going with his left hand? Or it's like you were too big not to dunk the ball. So it's like, but then then that's what, man. And we like, I'm happy for the picks we got. And I got Bub. I like that. But that was one of the things. Like when you saw him break out this year, and he was like, man, left hand, cool. I'm gonna dunk on you, cool. Like I'm going to go right. It don't matter. Boom, boom, cool. Like, and you just saw like I was just like, this is what we wanted to see. Yeah. And wish him luck in Portland, but damn.
He figured out what his strengths were and he just played to him. Yeah. Like he wasn't gonna let you take him out of his game. Like you say, I'm going right, so what? Stop it.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm going up, I'm trying to dunk it every time. It's I'm not playing with it in the air or avoiding contact. Like, no, I'm 6'9", I'm gonna play it. So yeah, it was a beautiful thing to watch, man, his progression. And I wish him well in Portland for sure.
Let's hope so. Because I really started to come along when he was doing his thing, and I wish him the best. So, all right. So last thing before we get to the trivia question and ultimately the giveaway. That's what people want to know, right? Yeah. They want to know who wins. So last thing is these 3 rookies. We already went over Sar. What are you excited about Bub, and what are you excited about Keyshawn?
Yeah, so like I gotta say, man, shout out to Dawkins, Will Dawkins. This was like a perfect draft for me. Like it felt like I was in the draft room, like because every guy that I did, because we took me and Matt, who you had on before, man, that's my guy. Like we talked about Keyshawn. We did a mock draft for like well before the draft, and I had the Wizards pick at 26, I believe it was at the time before we traded back into it. And I took Keyshawn, and that was like we were both in agreement on that, and it was just like this is the perfect kind of clay player that got some point guard ability, 6'8", can shoot it, and even got like some hidden playmaking and handle ability, man, that could break you off the dribble in that phone booth, man. And so for us to be able to get him and get Bub and get the consensus #1 guy in SAR, it was just like, wow. So I'm really excited, man. I think you get SAR, your anchor. Like I say, I liken him to an Evan Mobley. Bub Carrington, shout out to B-Mo, man. Like, Bub was my guy. I just love, it kind of reminded me of Jalen. They're not the same players.
Yeah.
But just the big guard would handle that mid-range touch, just the dog in him and that NBA skill to create space.
Yeah.
I just love his game. I think he's going to be a star for us. And then, of course, like I said, with Keyshawn, man, just kind of a versatile 6'8" guy that can do a little bit of everything, man, and shoot the lights out. So
look, I can see a world where, maybe a year or two from now, maybe even towards the end of the year, right? Because obviously we know it's a losing season. Probably ain't gonna do that well. Yeah. You might see him. You might see, KG, at the 2. We talking about a 6'8" shooting guard.
Hey.
I mean, you talking about a big lineup, man. We might see a big lineup this year. It's going to be kind of crazy. All right, I said that was the last question, but I lied. This is really the last question because we can't end and get to the last segments until we get your crystal ball prediction. Hopefully, y'all going to hear it here first. If not, it's probably already been on Twitter.
Yep. It's definitely here first.
All right,
for sure.
So who you looking at, man, for this upcoming season? Upcoming draft.
Upcoming draft, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Obviously, it's everybody's SAG for flag.
Yeah.
But my guy, and right now he's #1 on my board. It's Ace Bailey.
I knew.
I just think that skill set the Wizards have never had. Just like a big 6'8" plus wing that could put it on the floor. Top tier athlete. I mean, he just looks like he just fits the description of a modern NBA wing that could be a 25-plus point per game guy. So that's who I'm thinking. I'm hoping and praying that that's who the Wizards target, and we get him, man, and then it's no looking back after that.
I'll be honest with you. I don't care. It's like I don't care because I'm thinking like it's either gonna be Ace or Flag. To me, you cannot lose with either one of them. Yeah. I think I'm in the minority in some people who think that we need a point guard like the dude from France or Harper.
Yeah,
and I'll be honest, I don't think that's the case at all because I think right now, I do hope that Poole does well. Now you can't control what the front office is thinking. Maybe they're thinking he's a trade piece. He does well if if he is the future, great. If not, then we got Bub. And I'm thinking between them two, I think we're fine. So. To me, it's one of those two. Now, on the off chance, and I hope I ain't jinxing it, man. The off chance, man, Wizards community, we get, we get bummed out again, and somehow we got the numbers, the percentages to get a top 2 pick, but then all of a sudden we slide down. I hope I ain't jinxing it, but if it just feels like it's always happened every single year.
Yeah.
So hopefully, that ain't the case, right? So here's the hoping and praying. To answer again. One of them two, you can't go wrong. Hell, if we get a couple of extra first-round picks, I'm going to be happy too.
It's a deep draft, man. It's a deep draft. If they could do another type of, Bub Carrington type trade, I ain't going to throw no names out there, but if they could potentially get another
Sleeper.
lottery pick in there.
Sleeper.
I'm going to just say, I mean, it's another guy that was drafted by the previous front office that is probably going to get an extension this season.
Okay.
And I think he's going to have a good year for us, and he could potentially be trade bait come draft night. Rhymes with Mispert. You know, if you could potentially
read between the lines, y'all. I mean, I don't know if we couldn't have been more clear.
I ain't saying no names.
Yeah.
But, you know, if they could potentially make a move, you know, and get another lotto pick, man, this is a deep draft 2025, man.
Who's your sleeper, though, in that draft? Somebody
in that lottery range?
Yeah, lottery, yeah.
I'm going to stick with the Coach Kyle. You know, he's at Arkansas now. Look out for Carter Knox. Carter Knox. Carter with a K.
All right.
Look out for Carter Knox. 6'5", 220. He play like Ant Edwards to me, man.
All right.
Dog.
If we get another pick, I guess we're going in the lotto. I guess that's where we got to go, man. You heard the crystal ball himself. That's where it is. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to our trivia question. Y'all thought I was going to say the giveaway. Nah. Look, we're going to go ahead and get to our trivia question. At first, I wasn't going to do it to him. Then I said, nah, everybody else get it, so he going to get it too.
Not going to vote.
So let me see here. All right. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
Name at least, name 2 Wizards players that have starred in movies, and what movies were they?
That have starred in movies.
Or have been in movies. I had starred.
Or not.
Been. Yeah, they've been in movies.
Michael Jordan won. Former Wizard, of course. Space Jam.
There you go.
And another Wizard that's been in a movie.
Well, Wizard, Bullet. I gotta be clear. Somebody came for me last time for that. Wizard, Bullet. You want me to give you a slight clue? Have I given anybody else clues? Probably not. Yeah.
That was in a movie?
You said his name earlier. Way earlier.
Wasn't Muggsy in Space Jam 2?
He was in Space, but okay. So
wasn't Muggsy in Space
yeah,
Jam?
he was in Space Jam.
He was
Okay.
the
I don't know if that counts though. I don't know if that counts though, because he. Okay. He said the same movie. He said that. I don't know if that's cheating, but that boy said the same movie for 2 different players. All right, so I'm just gonna give you some, right? George Marason, right?
That was gonna be my next one.
And then apparently Chris Webber was in Uncle Drew, but I've seen Chris Webber in other movies too.
Oh, he was. Oh, yep. Yeah. Chris Webber was.
Chris Webber was another. Yeah. So all right, man. That boy get a pass, man. I don't know. He get a pass, man. All right.
That's a good one though.
For everything that y'all been waiting for, we're gonna go ahead and do the giveaway. My producer, go ahead and give it up here. Here we go. So let's shake it up. Let's go see who's gonna be the winner of the ticket giveaway for the Wizards home opener against the Boston Celtics, October 24th. There it is.
Look, I ain't know. Let's see what we got here. I got something. What we got here?
A couple in your head. What's it?
All right, we got Twitter S Reginald.
That's Reginald. Let's see.
We got a winner here.
There it is.
We got it.
Yep. Gravaman in black S Reginald. Hopefully I ain't messed that up. There it is. That's who's winning the ticket giveaway. I'll go ahead and put that on Twitter when the video initially comes out. So you'll probably see it before you actually view the video. But there you go. And hey, man, reach out to me when I put it out there on Twitter. If you don't, we going to pick somebody else because October 24th is coming real quick. All right. So, hey, again, man, congratulations. And look, hey, man, Domo, thank you for coming again.
My God, man.
Appreciate it. And we're going to have to have you on here again because we got a couple of other topics we're going to have to talk about, man.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you having me, man. This was a beautiful thing, man. I love what you're doing, man. Keep it up, brother.
Appreciate it. All right, y'all. This has been the Chocolate City Hoops Podcast. Again, I'm your host, DJ. Make sure to like and subscribe. We out.